Hello. Our lesson today is a little different because we're going to do a series related to this. This one is called Truth versus Love versus Violence. The truth spirit requires honesty in all our dealings, but we are a culture have been failing miserably in the interpersonal areas of taking responsibility to make a proper apology and showing the love and respect to each person that is their due. Rather, in the latter case, has been rampant disrespect, verbal abuse, and then violence. People don't know how to apologize in the Western cultures, as they no longer are willing to take full responsibility for anything. Every action is predicated, conditional. I am responsible only for these things if these other conditions are also true. Looking at the news clips, at numerous sources of data in popular culture, which simultaneously leads the behavior and tastes of the culture, while also reflecting it. The wholesale switch to conditional responsibility was in the late 1980s, led by such horrible shows as Roseanne. I highlight the Roseanne Barr show as it was the singular example of interpersonal verbal abuse. That the culture found abusive behavior so funny is akin to the Romans using death battles for entertainment. It is a reflection of the movement of values within the society. I use clips from the Roseanne show on a compilation of domestic and interpersonal violence in the modern media, setting the scene with the jaw-dropping exemplars from the entire Garth Brooks' The Thunder Rolls video, onto 5 clips from The Simpsons, Bart hitting Homer, Bart hitting Lisa, Bart throwing things at Marge, all to a laugh track. 12 clips from Roseanne of name-calling, casual physical violence, threats, all to a studio audience's laughs. No one laughs during this video. Most are silently hugging themselves, with tears streaming down their faces. A half-dozen high school students have become physically ill watching it. This gave the opportunity for counselors to intervene with them, to act to protect these students who felt no one understood, so they suffered in silence and planned to suicide. If we don't admit the behavior is inappropriate to start, then we will never take responsibility for committing these violations to our partners, our children, our friends. Look at your behavior. Do you jokingly use put-downs, name-calling, and similar behavior at any time, including online, with any person? Are you truly laughing or just going along for form's sake? Look in their eyes. Do they get a hardened look, a gleam of resistance when you say these things? Then they are violence to them, and you are victimizing them. Many of you are verbal abusers without knowing it, as you fell into the habit and then just kept on going. I ever so briefly walked on that path, for the people I was around spoke this way. But as I was creating the first of the video compilations, I was cured. Then I put a stop to that type of talk aimed at me, or I ended those relationships for the lack of respect for and of me. Now, if I talk back to someone, I talk back in the way that they hate the most. I use facts. examine yourself. Examine your behavior. Do a complete moral inventory and then make amends where necessary for those you have abused or have been abusing, including your parents, most especially your elderly parents. The things you say under your breath to those who are in dementia. Even though they don't understand you and they can't recall it, it is still abuse. God hears it. Christ called us to love and respect one another. To love is to never deliberately cause hurt. To never deliberately cause hurt feelings through being a bully, teasing, use of words or nicknames, or loving suggestions that cause another to be self-conscious, in pain for your help, or to ever use any but loving names. Never abuse, and never violate trust. If you are a physical abuser, report yourself to the police and you will get free counselling and targeted therapy to combat the rage and dig down to the buried hurt you are hiding. But do not violate one more person, including yourself. Use your faith. If you can't report yourself to the police, go to a therapist tomorrow and admit to them, I have hit my spouse. I have physically abused my girlfriend in the past. I have hit my children in the distant past. I need help so this never, ever happens again. You want to be in the domestic abuse project in your area. Individual counseling isn't what you need. You need to be in the group with other men and women just like you, so that you can learn and talk about it with other people like you and not be embarrassed. If you are a verbal or emotional abuser, it was done to you. Get help today to stop yourself from harming one more innocent person. Teachers are the worst offenders. Teachers are the worst offenders. They abuse the students so often. They didn't realize how often other adults could hear them last year. They forgot other ears were in the room. Luckily, some of those teachers were able to get help. Low-wage workers get a lot of crap from their customers, but their bosses, if they're not full adults, they're evil crap right off the showroom floor. Or you can dig it right out of the toilet and get the same sort of lip, because that's the sort of person they are. If you allow one more word of abuse after listening to this, you are committing a sin to God. One more unsuspecting or undeserving person or creature saying horrible things to your dog, your cat, your bird, your fish, your horse, the cows in the field, whoever or whatever. You are a sick person, you need to see the doctor. Christ did not come to call the righteous. He came to call the sinners. Doctors don't help those who are healthy. They help those that are sick. Get the help. Just because you hate parts of yourself and it gives you no leave to spread that anger, spread that disease, spread that loathing to others. Ask God for forgiveness and help. Admitting you are doing it for the first time is stopping and beginning the reformation of yourself. Tomorrow, you will learn how to apologize properly so that you are forgiven your sins, and so that the person or people that you harm will forgive you. So tune in tomorrow. The title of the lesson is The Proper Apology.